Get $3 off every order at PlayAsia by using the code Censored.
Announced at the 2017 Nintendo Switch presentation, Puyo Puyo Tetris will finally be coming to Western shores. Available in Japan since 2014 for various platforms, the title will now be making its PS4 and Switch debut and will be available worldwide for the first time. The English release is already being demoed at certain conventions, allowing fans to get a glimpse at the localized version, and one fan has spotted a curious change that has been made to one of the characters' names. Whilst called Satan in the Japanese version, the English release has changed their name to Dark Prince. Those of you already familiar with the game will also know that the name Satan isn't something that's up for debate. The Japanese version actually uses the English word Satan for the character's name, and this is said many times throughout the dialogue. This means that it's not a case of difference in interpretation during translation. So what's the deal here? Why was it changed? Well, this name change was actually first made 25 years ago now. Puyo Puyo is a very long running series of puzzle games, the first of which being released in Japan for the MSX2 and Famicom in 1991. The title would then be ported to virtually every system out there. Unfortunately for those of us in the West though, the only one of these to be localized would be the arcade release, which came the following year in 1992. It was here where Satan was first renamed. Due to the West's sensitivity towards religious or occult themes, these types of changes were extremely common during this time period. This edit then went on to be made to virtually all Western Puyo Puyo media, with the exception of two rather small exceptions. The mobile game Sonic Runners had a special crossover event at one point, and one of the event's levels featured a story involving Satan, who, yes, was actually named Satan. The only other time the original name has been used was in Sega 3D Classics collection, but not in the game itself, but in its manual. This 3DS compilation title contains a full version of the second game in the series, and in the manual, Satan is called both Dark Prince and Satan, and it even references the confusing situation with the character's name in their bio. It's possible that nowadays the difference is simply being kept for consistency reasons, rather than any moral reasons. Although again, back in the 90s, this was extremely likely to be why it was changed. Puyo Puyo Tetris will be available in the West for Switch and PS4 sometime in the second quarter of 2017. Info confirmed so far is that the localized version will have English voices only, and that there's no crossplay between PS4 and Switch. However, you can play online with all regions.